Language learning is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. I'm Jo Gakonga from elttraining.com, and in this short video, I'm going to give you an idea for introducing meaningful, repetitive practice into your speaking activities. One of the problems in speaking activities is that learners can feel that they're a bit purposeless. They talk to their partner, the teacher goes round and monitors, perhaps does a little bit of correction, but the learners might not actually feel as if they're learning something. One of the ways that you can address this is to structure tasks so that learners have a chance to rehearse and to practice and to repeat what they say. If you're asked your opinion on something, which of these would you rather live in and why, for example? The first time you do this, even in your first language, you're probably putting a lot of brain power into what you want to say, into the content of it. But if you have the chance to repeat it a second time, you have the opportunity to think about how you want to say it and not just what, because you've already thought of that. As a learner of a language, this kind of repetition is very valuable and you shouldn't underestimate it. But, you say to me, repetition is boring. No one wants to repeat what they've said. I think the remedy to this is to make sure that you're not repeating what you said to the same person. If you know that the person you're speaking to is hearing it for the first time, it becomes a more meaningful task. This is the beauty of open, personalised tasks. One person's answer can never be the same as another person's. So here's the way that it might run. The first thing is to give your learners a task. Let's stick with this one. Which of these would you rather live in and why? Give them a bit of time to think about it. Maybe to ask you for vocabulary, maybe to look it up themselves. Now put them into pairs. If you're working online, of course, this can be in breakout rooms. Ask them to give their answer to a partner. Maybe set a time limit. 1 minute actually is quite a long time to be speaking on your own. So that might be enough. And, this is important, tell them to record what they say on their phone. Now, after they've done that, bring them back together and perhaps ask one or two of them for some ideas, and then give them some time on their own, perhaps 3 minutes, to listen back to what they said and to try and think about how they could improve it. Ask them to try and notice any errors that they make. A lot of slips, they can self-correct, and also about perhaps any new language they'd like to use or new things they'd like to say. Now rearrange the pairs so they have a new partner and get them to repeat the same thing. Tell them to say exactly what they said before, but in a more polished way. As the teacher here, you can monitor, go round, listen for mistakes, listen for examples of good language that you hear. Then bring them back together again and do some error correction together. You could get them all involved by asking them, for example, how many mistakes there are in a sentence, or asking them to write corrections in the chat box. You can ask learners to write but not post until you say so that the faster typists don't always get the answers up first. If you wanted, and you thought that they would like it, you could swap partners and get them to do it one more time. You could sell this as, this is your final, polished, rehearsed version, make it perfect. Alternatively, you could put them in breakout rooms with the same partner or a different partner and get them to write an answer collaboratively. This will involve them speaking together and trying to produce really accurate language. And if you use one single Google Doc for all of the groups, then you'll be able to see everybody's work at the same time and to offer them help and correction. When they've done this, you could give them a text which answers the same question, but maybe in a more extended way with useful language, words, phrases, collocations, perhaps a focus on the second conditional here because it's a hypothetical situation. You can use this technique with any speaking task, I wouldn't advise using it all the time, but it's a great way to get them really focusing on their spoken accuracy. I hope you have fun with it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.